Hi, Filter here. Um, YouTuber V turned me on to a article that can be found at Geek Rant, and one of them is female superhero costumes given practical redesign. Uh, the writer, who goes by the name of, please bear with me, boys and girls, the writer, whom I have not been able to find here. Oh, Joey Parr. Hmm. Joey Parr, he or she, Joey can be a female's name, so basically is kind of writing a somewhat condescending letter here. The examples that you will see if you go onto the website, they show Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Elektra, Black Canary, Ms. Marvel, Vampirella, Red Sonja, Power Girl, Zatanna. If you look at the costumes, let's see, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Black Canaries, and even Miss Marvel's look a lot alike. Red Sonja, I'm not really sure. Power Girls also look a lot like the Wonder Woman ones, or it's similar. Zatanna's costume, I wouldn't call it a costume, and Vampirella's outfit, and I'll call it that. It's an outfit. I've seen commonly doesn't stand out. That was one of the fun things when you looked at Vampirella. She stood out. Yes, she could do all this stuff, but she had no fear looking the way she did. I'm sorry. The woman's wearing this bikini type outfit. She doesn't have to worry about guys trying to assault her. In fact, the guys need to worry about her assaulting the shit out of them. All she has to do is turn around and just rip their throat out with her claws and shit like that, and that's it. But the article goes something like this: I love comics and superheroes as much as the next nerd. Take the word for it. But the women's costume, sweet mother of Moses, that's an unnecessary throwaway line this guy put in. The costumes, at the very least, highly impractical. Well, in comic books, I mean, let's face fact. I really can't fly, and I don't know any guy or gal that can fly and have bullets bounce off their chest. So, no. And the worst, incredibly sexist. Okay, uh, maybe I'll go that way, but most of these characters were created either in the 30s all the way up to the 70s. Hey, what are you going to do about that? I mean, extremely so. Honestly, I don't know why women haven't been a lot more angry and vocal about this kind of thing over the years, like Ferguson riot angry. Okay, stop right there. Invoking or something like this is gonna be I don't know. You're trying to invoke some type of bullshit narrative into people's mind. That's just total and utter bullshit. Okay, don't say like Ferguson riot angry. I can understand, like National Organization of Women angry, but no, you can't use that. You have to say Ferguson riot angry. No, it doesn't deserve the same fucking anger. It continues. Don't get me wrong, I believe that expressing one's sexuality is a natural, healthy thing, and certainly not something to be censored or shamed. But Holy Hammer of Thor, another throwaway line, there is a time and place for everything. Okay, okay, okay. Don't get me wrong, I believe that expressing one's sexuality is a natural, healthy thing. If that's the case, you wouldn't be bitching about the costumes. Okay? You wouldn't be. You wouldn't be bitching about it. You wouldn't be writing this ridiculous article and having some artist recreate this for you. All right? This is a weird form of, like, I guess, slut shaming, I guess. And what is this Holy Hammer of Thor bullshit line? What is this fucking ridiculous line? Holy Hammer of Thor. How about how about this? How about you just basically go, oh my goodness, or dear Lord, or like, damn, how about that? But Holy Hammer of Thor. This is something that I remember Harlan Ellison described, that whenever certain magazines and newspaper articles, whenever they wanted to talk about how comics had more adult themes, they'd always start out the article with a huge pow and zap in the fucking headline. It was like not to be even taken seriously. Article continues. That being said, I just had to take a shot at addressing the most obvious problems. Now, I am not by any means of an experienced or accomplished character designer. Okay, now you're onto something. I am not suggesting these costume redesigns are ideal or even very good. Trust me, I love the artwork itself. The costumes, not so much. My main goal was to at least try to approach this subject of female superheroes with a degree of logic, equality, and respect they and their readers deserve. Okay. When somebody says that I deserve this without even really asking me what my problem is or what advantages I have or something, I kind of get a little suspicious. If I'm looking at this and I go, I like this comic because, yeah, the character is pretty damn cool. I like the adventures that this character goes through, but don't sit there and presume that you're going to sit there and tell me that I'm going to respect your thing. You know, don't. Again, it kind of sounds kind of condescending. I know I don't sound like I'm making any sense, but looking at this article is just maddening. Now, if you look at the costumes, like I said, it's very interesting, just almost repetitive. But I do give the artist who did it, Ingvard the Terrible. He can be found at ingvard.com. I give him kudos because he's a talented guy. I really do. Kudos. But again, back to this. It's just getting to this weird point that this guy thinks that I'm being insulted because I'm looking at the costumes of someone like Vampirella or Power Girl. It's like there's like no respect whatsoever for my sensibilities, and and that's really the sad thing. There's like no respect for my sensibilities as a reader, as the audience, and it's almost kind of condescending when you think about it. I've been reading comic books for 40 years. You know, ever since I found my first Shazam comic book and I just started reading, I've been hooked ever since. I've seen the evolution of characters go from the cookie cutter, family friendly to more gritty. I remember seeing Batman being sort of to the Dark Knight. And I even remember articles where people were complaining about the Batman movie that Tim Burton did, how it was so dark, and all the critics that were talking about it. Actually, this is even beforehand when Frank Miller did his Dark Knight book originally, and I remember there were so many people bitching about Batman being so dark and gritty because they had in their minds Adam fucking West. Okay, you know they never mind the actual history of Batman. Oh, we're just going to stick to what we know, which is Adam West. Let's not do any research whatsoever. So this is pretty much an old problem. That much I do know. Female superhero costumes, though, I just find the fact that they, again, are doing this stuff towards people who are apparently triggered by women with C, D, or L cups. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I'm sorry. Anybody who goes to certain cons, the beach, you're going to see women with that body type. Okay? You look in men's magazines, you see women with that body type. You don't see that in women's magazine. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. But in men's magazines, you see this body type. Not to say, oh no, the airbrush computer generated. No, most of the computer generation goes in women's magazines. They go in women's magazines. The digital effects, most of the digital effects that you see in women's are in women's magazines. Men's magazines don't have as much. Maybe they airbrush something here and there, but other than that, most of the digital performances go on women's magazines, not men's magazines. Changing costumes, though, still. Sorry, going off, going off the thing here. Changing women's costumes is gotten to the point where the characters don't stand out. Take, for instance, Spider Woman. Before, I mentioned in an earlier video, before the outfit looked like a superhero. She was a superhero. The tight form-fitting outfit. Hey, Spider-Man has a tight form-fitting outfit. But now the costume is, let's give her this outfit that makes her look like she's getting off work and heading off to the gym. She doesn't stand out. But they gave her a visor. They gave her a visor. That helps. They so she can't be recognized. That visor. And like I said, because there are so many people who are whining and complaining about this, and it's so funny that if you go onto Tumblr, I know Tumblr, a lot of people complain about Tumblr, but the Tumblr, when you look at the cosplayers, it's very interesting to look at the women in the costumes. They all seem to enjoy some of these somewhat form-fitting, revealing outfits. They seem to enjoy it. There's a good amount of women dressed in the Spider-Man garb, or the Spider-Girl garb, and now Spider-Gwen garb, which is a very tight, form-fitting outfit. It leaves nothing to the imagination per se. But again, I wouldn't be surprised in the not too distant future they suddenly say, "Oh well, this outfit's too sexist because this is like body shaming because we don't want women to be triggered over the fact that they don't have bodies like that." Well, so maybe you don't have a body like that, but other women have a body like that. And those women don't mind seeing a body like that, or maybe they like to look at sexy women. They like to admire sexy women. Hey, guys, look at guys, and they don't fawn over it in the same way. They go, "Damn, that guy looks good." That's guys, and women are, I would say, are pretty much the same. They'll look at a woman and says, "Wow, she looks great." You know, I've seen women when they sit around, they talk about like, let's say, some actress who's like in her 60s, and they say, "Wow, she's held up well over the years." you know, take for instance Susan Lucci. That woman's held up for years. I mean, she looks pretty damn good for her age. And again, there's no shame in it. But this article is kind of saying you should have shame for looking at a sexy woman. I mean, I just can't help but think that the people who write this really, I think they have this real peripheral vision of shit. Like, uh, it's really, really peripheral. I don't think they honestly read the shit that they talk about. That's all I have to say. Well, rate this video if you like. If you have feedback, please let me hear it. In other words, have a good one, guys.